Everborn Saga, sir. What are your thoughts? I know you have, as a business owner, as a person who has been bullish on the advent of AI and some of those tools that assist creatives, being a creative yourself as well. What are your thoughts?
Sign, perf, cut, take 13.
So here's the thing. My main point of contention or disagreement is when we say we don't think the boon to smaller independent creators is worth whatever will happen to the big mega corporos, because at the end of the day what we're saying is we'd rather them keep more people employed in effectively indentured servitude to people who they're just paying salaries while the company keeps all the profits of their work. I am more on the side of any tool that allows a smaller independent team to do more, punch above their weight, and create things that otherwise would have taken many millions of dollars and buy-in from certain gatekeepers in the industry. I'm in favor of saying that that is a good thing. And I would also say that if this leads to the big mega publishers that we know publishing slop, then they will fall by the wayside and they will deserve it. And what we will see happen is what we see today, because as we speak right now, it is the year of our Lord 2025, and we are on February 22nd. There have been over 2,000 games released on Steam, right? Many of those are probably not good, right? But some of them are from independent creators, and the tools and the distribution channels that exist today so that I, as a creator, or you, Lucius, as a creator, or you, Pixel, or UK, can have an idea. And you may not be the greatest coder in the world. You may not be the greatest art designer in the world, but if there's a tool that will let your creative vision let you be able to do that without having to go to some overlord who is going to tell you, no, why don't you change this and why don't you change that? If you bring costs down, you will see more creativity. And the reason we don't get the creativity today is because things cost so much. And when there's that much money on the line, people have to file down the edges of things, and they're less likely to try new and risky things. Because the thing is, when you try something new, it may fail. But when you can't afford that, that's when you get design by committee. And I think one of the things that like we all instinctively understand in this industry is that costs are too high. And one of, not the only, but one of the primary drivers in costs is that it takes so many people to do a lot of menial tasks. I'm not talking about the SMEs. I'm not talking about the shared industry knowledge. Those people should be cherished and treated well and do their own thing. But at the end of the day, there are too many people employed that it takes to do these things, and it sucks that people would have to lose their jobs. But if we're gonna say, and I know you're not saying this, right? But I'm making a general statement in terms of tools that make things easier, that allow smaller teams to do bigger things. If we're going to say we shouldn't do that because it's going to lead to layoffs, then we're really just advocating for games to continue to be expensive and continue to take more people to do things. And I would also argue that so many tools have come out. Unity and Unreal have come so far, and they're doing a lot of things in terms of AI and generation and textures and things like that. And they've made it easier for smaller teams to do bigger things. And that has not really led to them hiring less people. They've in fact overhired. And that is part of the reason where we're seeing a lot of these layoffs. And so to me, I have no concern for whether $1 billion publisher or a multi-million dollar publisher, if they want to make AI slop, then you know who will come to create experience that people actually want to play? The humans, the individuals who maybe got laid off as a result of this, can now start their own team because there's tools out there that allow them to do these things. So maybe they are a level designer, but they don't know how to code, and so they use a tool that will help them with that. Or maybe they know how to code, but they can't draw to save their life, like me. And if there's a tool that can help with that, then I'm all for it. But I believe that this sort of parallel economy of independent developers will pick up the slack and make the things. And if tools allow them to make things that are what we would consider AAA today, maybe tomorrow that takes a very small team of 15 people.
Very interesting picture he's painting. Brian Kelso in the chat says, making a video game will be like having a YouTube channel in the near future.
Right, but that doesn't mean you're going to be Marquise Brownlee or Mr. Beast.
No,
right?
true.
So here's the
Absolutely
thing.
not.
And this is one, I'll say this because I know I'm on a little bit of a rant. The thing about like AI generated gaming or whatever, making a game does not, I don't care how much money you spent on it. I don't care the fact that it actually controls like a game and you can press start and move a joystick and a character moves around. If it is not fun, people will not play it. See Concord.
I think the fear that people are expressing is when there is excitement and there is a vision behind making this be as good as human intervention, the more money you put into it, the more attention you're putting into it, better it's getting. And they're afraid of the future, not today. And I hear you. Everybody always says today, hey man, there's just no way that this thing will replace humans because look at what it does today. And it's trash here and it's trash there. And it requires a deft hand to make it use. It's a tool like anybody else. And I agree with you on that, right? I feel like this is a very nuanced conversation because there is no one right way, right? By and large, I tend to be the technologist in the room wherever I go, but I'm among a lot of technologists today, right? So you guys feel the way I do in that we love technology. We want to move the ball forward. But I do also understand and recognize that, yes, we are moving the ball forward, but in so doing, you will displace a lot of people.
I don't care how much money you spent on it. I don't care the fact that it actually controls like a game and you can press start and move a joystick and a character moves around. If it is not fun, people will not play it. See Concord.